In ancient times, the warlord of a barbarian clan, Tian, sought to subjugate neighboring tribes, but was defeated by the dwarves of the Wutai tribe. Tian was imprisoned in an icy prison, but 1,000 years have passed and the chains holding him are about to break. The Wutai prepare to stop him once again, which requires a special sword. However, the adopted son of the clan leader Xin suddenly turns out not to be who he believed himself to be, putting the fate of the entire world at risk. The Chinese online film market is largely divided between major studios producing big-budget projects and low-end trash filmmakers churning out cheap content that pays off due to minimal investment. But there are also lone players, one-off studios that enter the market to test the waters and usually end up failing. The fantasy action film Dwarf King: Middle-earth Sword is clearly the work of such newcomers. There's no precise information about when the film went into production, but it seems development began in the latter half of the 2000s, and it may well have been shot around that time. Many of the creators' filmographies seem to end in the early 2020s, and actor Yu-Ming, who plays Xian, looks noticeably younger here than in films released in 2025. The production cycle rivals that of Avatar, though Dwarf King hardly deserves to be mentioned in the same breath. It's hard to say what the filmmakers originally intended, but the end result is rather disheartening. The costumes, makeup, sets, cinematography, and action choreography all scream extreme budget constraints, which the creators seemingly tried to mask with heavy use of CGI. Much of the film is shot against green screens. Ironically, the visual effects not only fail to save the film, but drag it down even further. They look cheap, the backgrounds are poorly rendered, and the integration of live actors with digital wolves, bears, and boars leaves much to be desired. A film that should impress with its scale instead stands out for the sheer number and magnitude of its technical shortcomings. That said, the problems aren't just technical, the script is weak as well. The film begins like a Chinese knockoff of The Lord of the Rings, and although it eventually moves away from Tolkien's story, it might have been better if it had continued copying the masters to the end. That would likely have been more engaging than the contrived, talk-heavy narrative we're given instead of a compelling plot. In the end, the film lacks scope, depth, action, star power, and technical quality. In short, everything that distinguishes a semi-amateur imitation from professional cinema. And yet, somewhat surprisingly, Dwarf King didn't completely flop on the IQIYI streaming platform, where it was released as an exclusive. Despite low audience ratings and scathing reviews, the film maintained a decent level of popularity for as long as 4 months. Perhaps because the aesthetic of barbarian tribal mythology hasn't been overused just yet. Though in such a compromised execution, it's hard to talk about any real aesthetic at all, more about its absence.